Who are the founders of Hinduism? Now, many people, many books written by Westerners, they will say Hinduism has no founders. Now, this is utter nonsense. This religion didn't come out of the sky and fallen off our head. So, who are the founders? It's not that we don't have one founder. We have too many founders to count. This is we are spoiled for choice. Every century produces some super giant who can talk about spirituality, religion from first-hand experience. So we are spoiled for choice. We don't have no founder. We have too many to count. This is the uniqueness of this tradition. But the reason why we use a Sanskrit term called Apurusheya, this really Apurusheya, doesn't mean no founder. It simply means it's a principle-oriented religion and not founded or if you like, linked up with just one personality. So if you love Krishna, you don't say, oh, it's founded by Krishna. It's a principle-oriented religion. It says really you should not be focusing on the personality, but the principles he's talking about, the principles of Dharma. So it's a principle-oriented, that's why it's called Apurusheya. It means not fixated on any individual personality, ancient or modern. Very open. So you can become the founders of Hinduism in modern times. You don't need to focus on ancient ones. It's open system. So if you like, this is the word. It doesn't have one founder. It has too many founders to count. There's one generic term the Hindus are given to their founders, so the people with authority of Hinduism. It's a very important word, authority. The word is Rishi. The term Rishi is derived from the Sanskrit root Drish. Drish means to encounter, to see firsthand. So the Hindus say that enterprise we call Dharma actually comes about because there are certain individuals who say what is the underpinning of this reality? It's not something that we believe in or we try to trust or we just intellectualize, we actually experience. What is the underpinning of this reality? We come face to face with it. These are very special individuals. And the term Hindus use is Rishi. These are the founders of Hinduism, ancient and modern. And these are dramatic personalities. So the word is Rishi from the term Drish, first an encounter. And again, I would warn the Hindus, please be aware. Hinduism, because an open system is open to abuse. And there are lots of others who like to gang up and call themselves Rishi. Rishi is not a minor term. There are very few people who can say firsthand, I know what I'm talking about. Not read it in a book. Or not just sat down and had coffee and discussed it. I know. These are very special individuals. And they are the founders of the people of, if you like, authority in the Hindu tradition. Please remember this. Don't be gullible and be taken for a ride. There may be very good storytellers, kathakars. They're glorified storytellers, but they are not rishis. There may be people who are very highly intellectuals, pandits, very clever clogs. But they're just that. They're not rishis. When they talk from authority, really powerful material comes out of their mouth, out of their lips. Very powerful personalities. These are the founders, ancient and modern. So again, no founder, no, too many founders to count. Then we come to the next issue. How is Hinduism transmitted from one generation to another generation for over thousands of years? We said there are certain people who got certain titles. And the titles that we hear are the word Guru. Guru is derived from Sanskrit root which means one who destroys ignorance. So it's a very generic title. So Guru doesn't mean necessarily a spiritual teacher. It may be a computer guru or an economics guru. So Guru is a title saying somebody who removes ignorance. The second term we use, very important, is Swami. Swami means an individual who has mastered himself. Again, these are very interesting individuals. And how do they impart their knowledge? And what is the process for imparting knowledge? It's very important for you to understand. And this, what the ancient Hindus taught, is very relevant for the world that we live in. They say in order for knowledge to pass from the teacher to the student, there's a particular methodology you should adopt. And you may think it's outdated and it's old-fashioned, but it's still very relevant. It says, these are the three Sanskrit terms, Pranam, Prashna, Seva. So what's that? Pranam means basically show respect. Respect not necessarily to the individual, but the knowledge he carries. And this is the secret, I'm telling you. If you show respect to the subject you are studying, your teacher will soon find out that you are genuine, and he'll open his heart and give you all the information. So this idea of respect is not saying, oh, dive at his feet and touch his feet. It simply says, show respect to the subject that he understands. Because then you will acquire that knowledge. Then the doorway of communication will open up. So pranam. Second part, prashna. Ask. Sometimes people feel shy or say, oh no, I look stupid if I ask a question. So they don't ask. Say, ask. If somebody knows something more than you do, if you don't ask him, he will not know what you are what you are lacking. Ask. The third word which they use, which may sound again very old-fashioned, is always show not only respect to the subject, but to the carrier of that knowledge. Seva simply means making sure that the teacher is made very aware that you respect what he stands for. These are the three terms. You see how relevant they are in a modern world? Modern education system is struggling in the United Kingdom. You go through most of the schools, I'm telling you, some of them are a real nightmare. The teachers get beaten up. So this idea of pranam, prashna, seva is not a minor thing. Unless you have discipline, first thing is discipline, and you show respect to the subject, your subject carrier, then there is a chance that you will learn. You open up the doorways of communication. So pranam, prashna, seva are not ancient ideas. Discipline and respect are still very crucial for the modern education system. Let me tell you how. You see, you will find a lot of youngsters in the Far East, say Singapore, China, Malaysia, Korea, etc., are doing extremely well. They are very focused individuals in the studies. And one reason is this. They are disciplined individuals. They spend perhaps 10 hours extra studying every day. Literally, they work from morning till night. And the second most important, they show respect. So if a poor teacher from this country goes to some of the Far East countries to try to teach, you'll be surprised at the amount of respect he receives.